Okay, well, here we are at Neg Earth. I don't know why it's called Neg Earth, but it's a great big company that does lighting for huge rock and roll shows. Most of the big pop shows you see are dealt with through one of 2 or 3 companies, of which this is probably the biggest. They've actually set up the equipment that we'll be using in just their warehouse. It's not a theatre, it's not a special rehearsal room, it's just their warehouse. Going from my sketches and several meetings, what's happened is that John, who is a very clever artist and designer, has come up with a lot of the graphics, and Stuart himself as well, he's designing, as you can see there, he's just designing the spider sequence for Spider's Web. And it's all been put together quite quickly. We only shot the dancers. We decided to put some dancers in because Katie's not the sort of artist who would have dancers on stage. In fact, she once had a nightmare that I'd put some dancers. When I first knew Katie, she said, I had a terrible dream last night. I went on stage and then there was a dozen tap dancers came on and you'd organised it without telling me. So she obviously has this thing about not having dancers on stage, or she did at that time. And I think she's a bit more relaxed about it now. But we decided, with her approval, that we would project some dancers behind her on these screens. And so last week I went into a studio with a green screen background, and we shot these dancers working with the music, and we also shot the band playing some of the rehearsal tracks, and we've then taken them and put them on the screen. Oh yeah, there's one of the dancers who was doing a solo dance, and Michael's put a purple floor in and a white key line around the frame.
So it's not done manually? Someone's not going the rest of the band?
No, it's going to be... The band get 8 clicks in,
right.
The 9th click kicks that off.
Okay.
And we can have time to adjust it so it's exactly right.
Okay.
The problem we've got is that last night we ran this sequence of the boys in their different screens, except when we ran the band last night, they weren't in synchronisation with the music. They were going too fast. And we think it's this piece of kit over here that's doing it. We have got a few days to work it out, but I'd really like to get on and solve it as soon as possible. This Chinese scene, which is for 9mm bicycles, we showed it to Katie yesterday, and it didn't have that one single one. It started about here, and she said maybe it would be nice to start with one single one. And it's much nicer. It's a good suggestion. It's a good call of Katie's, because you come in fresh without having seen something before, you maybe notice things. And she said, why don't you start with one? So he started with one, and he's moving. Then the camera moves down, so you get the feeling of what's happening. It's a more clear lantern being one, and then you get all of them coming in like that.
That'll look pretty wicked.
Yeah.
And you've got some pretty depth to it. Yeah. So you get like...
What we've got here is a real tarantula spider, which we've filmed. And he's... what Stuart's done is he's taken the real tarantula and he's made a graphic of it, animating it round for the song Spider's Web. John had a point. If you have a real tarantula that big on a screen, there are some people that have got phobias, and they...
Oh yeah, like serious. Like Polly probably would freak out and have to walk out.
So what he's done, he's taken it and made a graphic out of it. So he's got a whole circle of like a wheel of spiders. Some of these graphics, for example, the train, which goes through all 5 of the different screens, Stuart has had to specially design it and animate it so that it goes through the screens, anticipating where those screens are going to be as they fly up and down against each other, so that it looks as if the train's going up a hill through maybe a diagonal pattern of screens, and then we'll change the screen so that the hill goes down and the train goes down. Each one's got its own thing. The sailboat, ghost town. We're going to have some like an old barn door that you can see through, and we're also going to use wanted posters of all the band, just as a bit of fun. Here, Thank You Stars is just the Austrian blind with a star cloth behind it. Secret Life, again, no projection there. What I Miss About You, I'm not sure I'm going to use the curtain. I'm not sure about that yet. Scary Films, Michael's put together some really nice, old, stylistic film clips of scary films. But the band will be down below. There's the piano, there's Katie, there's the drums. So you'll see the band performing, and above them will be the films. Spellbound, Katie stands in front of a screen, and magic comes out of her, and that's a design that Stuart animated. It almost looks like fireworks coming off her. Mockingbird, for example, has dancers hanging in different screens here, and that's been quite a difficult one to do because there's an awful lot of screen movement and quite a lot of image changes within the moving screens. Guitar starts now.
And the notes are coming
flying
out.
out.
Yeah. Oh, I like her actually. She's kind of seedy. I like that.
Yeah, look, she's a bit.
Yeah, she's a bit lap dancing.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Great. Oh,
He's
that's
still
wicked.
playing. This is still flying up there.
Did they make that up themselves?
Yeah, they just free-formed it. I got them dancing in pairs, and I told them to be as dirty as possible.
Nice.
And then I split them off and told them to do it singly.
Okay.
But of course, when they do it singly, they weren't as dirty, which was.
And there's
probably,
notes coming out of.
Yeah, this is all still flying, and then it changes
wicked.
to Jim.
Yeah.
And the
Jim's
piano's going to go. The notes now start
Notes
going,
did-
and she disappears, and
Right.
the notes are going up there, right? And he's dancing to
Yeah.
the piano. Well, we're now one stage on from where we were last week, where we've got the visuals program, but we've now got the band here. We've got to try each song to see whether it works and whether the cues that we've put in work with real people working around them, and also whether Katie likes what we've done. That's another thing we've got to find out. So we're going to go through each song separately, one at a time, and rehearse them. The band are already rehearsed up musically, and they sound great, so it's just a question of trying to put the musical side together with the visual side. That's what we're here for these 3 days.
Human kindness is overflowing, and I think it's going. Yeah. Can I get less reverb on my voice?
First concert's only like next Monday or something, Tuesday or something. So that's about 5 days away. We got today and 2 more days for production rehearsals, then a day's travelling, and then the first gig in France. So, oh yeah, we're confident that. I mean, Katie always delivers, so you always know you're going to get a good concert, even if everybody else screws up. But they won't, because they sound great. The band, they're well rehearsed, good attitude. So I'm not worried. The visuals, although they've been my preoccupation for the last, I don't know how many weeks, they're the least important part of the show. And if they don't work, then we still have a fantastic show because it's all about Katie.
Okay, we're gonna do a run through, guys. Don't ask me why, 'cause baby, I ain't got a clue. But I don't buy it, I don't believe my dad turns me on. Okay, guys, let's go. Do you think we could have a bit longer before, from the point of when the screens move up, if we could not have the fake band come on till maybe
They don't.
the next...
If they'd hit the cue right,
Oh,
It was down too long. I should have gone up at least 5 seconds before.
For a
it.
whole of the middle eight.
Yeah, after beating the goal.
No band on it.
Okay,
and then
good.
when you start singing the next verse, that's when they come
Great.
on.
Can we try that? Crawling up ahead. I thought when it first happened, it was like
That's what's
too
happened.
bright.
I think it was way too bright there.
It was way too bright. All
Yeah,
I
before it
felt
down
was
halfway
that I was watching a screen show, like the band kind of went into an insignificance because they weren't lit.
And also
they
you
weren't-
weren't there either. And,
well, yeah,
and
so
you're
it
going to
was
be on
like
the screens
that
at the
was just
sides
taking
as well.
too much focus off everything.
It will. It does. But don't forget.
And we don't want it to. I want the band to be seen. I want it to seem like.
Well, I know, but this is just one moment, one song where
It's just that we've just
where
come
there's a
out
lot
of a
of
pretty heavy visual song.
And then but we're about to go into one where there's no visuals.
Yeah. Okay.
You know.
Mary Pickford next, isn't it?
Right,
Which is the screen again.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's just easy.
I don't even know how it starts. Does it comes in, doesn't
It's
it?
guitars, acoustic guitars.
Oh yes, see, that's the other thing. You said that we then
the
cut
next one.
to
Yeah, we're out.
but
No,
no,
I'm
that's
not
not
doing
true.
that.
It's not true.
But it's all right. Let's see what happens.
Do you want to keep going then?
I was
Let's go
lying.
to Paul and
I was
Nathan.
deliberately misleading you.
Don't worry.
These artists became united. And I'm picking up my guitar from here at Sollte and about to start strumming it.
And then we move with the strum. First music.
So what about Echo Barrel?
Right. Down with the gate.
Okay, stop a second. Stop a second.
You took a chance on loving me. I took a chance on loving
The next one is Ghost Town. And there's going to be barn doors, which have got great big slats between them, so we can see between them. So we still see you playing, but you're behind the barn doors, right?
Right, well, I'm sure you've probably missed the band as much as I have. So can you please give a round of applause for the band? That's when the screens are meant to go on. Please put your hands together for Henry Spinetti on drums.
I'd imagine that they'd be up in the air, actually, and they'd be one at a time.
That would be better because they just. I think
Okay.
if they were up in the air.
All right, in that case, we'll do another screen move.
Okay, we'll be doing that again.
Yeah, green's on the right, definitely.
Blue's there,
You sure?
red's in the middle, yellow's the end.
Okay, we're talking floors here.
Yeah,
Maybe the blonde should be in the middle.
Let's see where she is.
Brilliant.
So, blonde.
Blonde haired girl, that is.
Yeah. Let's talk floor colours instead of hair colours. Oh, you mean what happened over there with the screens? We were just lowering them down, and the computer that was controlling their movement made an error. It wasn't dangerous. It just meant that the bars that the screens were hanging on went a bit wonky, and we all got a bit freaked out about it because we felt it looked a bit more dangerous than it was. They weren't loose or anything. They were just hanging strangely.
after On the Road, that goes up to the gods. We do our Janis Joplin look. Is that
Yeah.
is that a jazz? I haven't heard that one.
It's you have, you know.
That's what you said when I said I hadn't heard it.
You guys
What's
been
it called?
listening at all? It's called Cosmic Blues.
I have heard, yeah.
Da, 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 da. I'm gonna hold it now. I'm gonna need it now. I'm gonna need it. Da,
Okay.
da, da.
Yeah. What's that voice?
There are 9 million bicycles in Beijing. And you know that I will love you till I die. Yeah, it's purple's brilliant.
I think it's the wrong position. It'd be blinding the screen, but I'll keep it low so it's
Okay.
on you. No, if you feel like you want to go up and do something, do it. It doesn't matter.
I have a feeling I might do it on My Aphrodisiac as you because it's the first time you see the band, so it might be nice for me to step backstage to kind of just show that dimension of it, you know?
Yeah. Okay. And quite a few on your own.
Yeah.
Just on your own. Okay.
Yeah.
I cried for you when the sky